How did you get to know about real game business simulations?
Yeah, well, real game has been used in our program in Metropolia for many years now. I don't know exactly how many years, but there's a long history using real game as part of the supply chain management teaching in Metropolia. And when I started 3 years ago in the program, it was introduced to me, and then when I started teaching the supply management basic course, then I started implementation that to my teaching as well. So that's how I and also at the beginning I got a lot of help from real game when starting to using the game in my teaching. So that was really helpful at the beginning.
That's great to hear. So what were your expectations, maybe some concerns prior to gaming, and what happened in reality?
Yeah, well, of course, it's without knowing the solution before starting to use it. Of course, it's a big leap into unknown, so to say. So the whole thing, how it works from the administration point of view, how to introduce the system to students and everything was unknown, but the instructions are really straightforward, and also the game has been planned really well so that it's easy to start, and then you can start making your own tweaks and adjustment to the game when you start learning how to use it. So at the beginning it's quite easy, and then it's also flexible so that there's possibilities for focusing certain aspects that's more important in your learning objectives in the course. So it's easy, but at the same time flexible. So that was nice to see when using the game.
In your opinion and in your experience, what are the features or the things that are making experience with gamified learning maybe boring, maybe lame, maybe bad, or on the other hand, what makes them good and useful for teachers and students?
Well, it's quite useful way, because typically how we structure our courses, at least I do, I have this kind of theory section or part of the course at the beginning where we go through all the topics, this kind of theoretical framework that is important for our learning objectives. And then at the later part of the course, you want to somehow then do this kind of applied part of the course. So put those things that we learn in the theory section into real life situations or simulated real life situations. So I think the real game business simulation is perfect tool for that, because then you can practice those concepts in this kind of simulated real life situations by managing companies, as we are teaching business. So managing companies are the core what we are teaching. So here you can test those skills in practice, and it's extremely useful for that applied part of the course.
Yeah, that is actually very well linked to my next question on how do you integrate real game. You partly answered that question, but for which courses do you use it, and for which students?
Yeah, well, at the beginning I used it like we have used for many years in our supply chain management basic course, which is the first year basic course for everybody in business studies. So there, just to get the overview of supply chain management processes and operations and how to manage those in companies. But then later I have also been, or I have started to use real game, the different versions of real game for my other courses as well. So I'm also teaching then supply chain management topics for the second year and third year supply chain management major students in our program, and I've been now incorporating real game into those studies as well. So I'm using now the real game procurement version for my operative purchasing course for the second year students. So there we can more than highlight the purchasing operations, as the game has more suppliers and it's more than focused on the purchasing side. And then I also use the real game network version for our third year students in our this kind of strategic sourcing, strategic supply chain management course. So there it introduces again a bit new elements for the gaming, where students need to be doing business with other groups. So there's this kind of added communication level and negotiations skills are learned, and then how to form contracts and so on.